as well. First and foremost, yes, go back on Twitter, and I think it's only very perfect. I shared this picture for Fursuit Friday, which I just tweeted.
Oh, I bet I know what it is.
I know that.
Yes! Woo!
Oh wow.
I never could get over it though. It's just you see that monument in real life. I'm gonna have to take you there, and it's, dude.
My goodness.
All right. So, first bit of housekeeping to do with is that I am pleased to announce that our podcast, V Raiders Rambles, can now be found on both Player.fm and iHeartRadio.
Ooh, nice.
So they will be joining our lineup of existing platforms on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and for the audio version. And we're always on the lookout for more. So do stay tuned.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm very happy about this.
I know. I've been a bit slow on the uptake, and I've been kind of like lazy enough saying, "Oh, 4 platforms is enough." Well, you can never have enough.
Yeah, iHeartRadio. I mean, how cool is that? What?
Yes, Play.fm, super popular as well.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So
very cool, guys.
We are gonna start with a lot of the stuff that has been blowing up in the furry sphere as of late.
When doesn't it?
I know, right? Okay, so you remember at Free For All, like Beowulf, Jay, and Avira, like somebody wore a certain shirt.
I
believe so.
I believe so, indeed.
And somebody
okay.
made another shirt as a reaction to it.
Oh goodness, what happened?
Oh, I think I know what it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I love this.
Yep.
This is adorable.
Oh goodness.
So, I'm thinking when somebody wears this and they say Nazi furries do exist, it seems like they're just literally calling themselves a Nazi furry. They're like, "Yo, we exist. Here we are. I'm wearing this bullshit shirt to show you." Like, what are you doing with this? Like, this is so stupid. Nazi furries do exist. Yo, what are you trying to say here? What the fuck?
My good lord.
This is crazy. Why would you wear this?
Has anyone actually turned around and decided to announce exactly what Nazi furs apparently hate?
Oh, this is just... I don't know.
That's the thing that confuses me when I see people wearing this sort of shit. Well, okay, so what group are we supposed to be taking from the furry fandom and sending him to the showers? I have to ask.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This is just really funny. What is that? The Suffer Nun? Is that Gandalf fighting the Balrog? What the heck? What is that supposed to do? What? Okay. I mean, all right. Sure. Go for it.
Maybe they can be in disguise. I don't know.
Oh wait, no. Is that the same shirt, but that's on the back?
That's on the back.
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, I have 2 words to describe this. Okay, LARPer.
Oh my goodness, this is really funny.
Yeah, you cast that thunder spell on that quote unquote Nazi monster.
Yeah. Negative 75 damage, Gandalf. Oh, negative 67. Yeah, yo. You shall not pass.
I really like the actual.
What is happening?
Design of that.
Right.
You can actually see, like the drapes in the robe.
Yeah, and you look at the front. There's like symbols upon symbols upon symbols already in the existing shirt.
Yeah.
So... I mean, what is that triangle supposed to represent?
I
Illuminati.
think it's supposed to I don't know. To me, that looks like the circle triangle button on a PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I was thinking like Harry Potter, like the Deathly Hallows, but it doesn't have the circle in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is made by the a dealer Triangle Manor
Well, he's a triangle. That's why. Okay,
Yeah, he's a triangle.
he's just trying to be all triangular.
Yeah.
Literally,
And he literally made this
Hey,
shirt, and
hey,
he's like selling it. Like, what?
PlayStation, someone's copying a part of your controller.
Yeah. But it's for art.
Oh.
That's too modern
Wow.
for my taste.
Eh,
Plus
yeah.
plus you kind of can't help but look at the glaring hippie symbol too. So
Oh boy.
wow. All right. Speaking of art, that's the perfect transition for what's blown up next. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So every furry practically knows a very famous furry artist, Narc Natasha.
Yeah.
I
I'm
would
still
hope that
I-
95% of furries know who Dark Natasha is.
I'm still kind of new to her, but okay.
You're like the 5% that doesn't, like, in that generation, Jay. Well, like, not my job to call you a disgrace, but to furry them. But I digress.
Right.
Anyway, I guess the one memory I have is that I went to MFF 2015 and I bought a dealer's item off of her. Can't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was 2018 in MFF. I'm 90% certain it's somewhere upstairs that I have
Right.
a.
And
Dark
this is the
Natasha
piece of
printout.
artwork that's in question here that we're looking at is a
Oh yeah.
this lovely coyote lady.
I'm almost 100% sure, honestly, that that's the exact print that I have upstairs.
Yo.
If not, it's something similar. So I'm probably just as bad as Dark Natasha. So just cancel me now.
I mean I gotta say, like, that's a really beautiful art piece. Yeah.
That is fire right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So-
OG furry art.
Yeah, and Dark Natasha's been in the furry game for as long as we can remember. And now the weird part is somebody is attempting to cancel Dark Natasha.
Yeah, literally everybody, because they're like, how dare you have some feathers on
Right,
your
like,
character?
Look at this script here. Not the scripted. Somebody want to read this?
I would do a Karen voice, but I can't do that.
Like,
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
goodness.
Because
want
that's
to read this
exactly
in the
how
whole-
this reads. It's a Karen complaining about something.
oh my god, that is so old.
Yeah, it really is though. Like this is
All right,
it's been around.
Joel, can you deselect the text so I can actually see it? Thank you. Okay, I'm just saying a white woman making art like this and selling prints at FurryCon is epidemic of cultural appropriation. And what's this?
It's the epitome
Fetishization.
of cultural
Fetishization.
appropriation and
I don't understand.
fetishization.
Why we still put up with this shit?
I don't
The heck?
understand why we
Oh.
still put up with this stuff. My culture appropriation.
What exactly are they appropriating?
Um,
Is this
The symbol,
what are they talking
garb,
about?
the ornaments, Native American.
Oh, I thought this looked like Indian. I mean, like from the subcontinent of India, like with the skirt and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the
I mean,
aesthetic lined up.
it's literally a wolf. It's a furry like wolf character, like in a fantasy situation. Like, what are they talking
Yeah.
about? Cultural appropriate? What the crap?
how do you know this that this particular canine female is not from the culture that you are saying that they exist from?
It could be from a different dimension. Who knows? It's why are people mad about this? This is weird. What the heck is happening?
Because
Like,
no, I can't
really?
have nice
Right.
things
Okay, no,
because I can't have
just think
nice
about
things.
it. Just like take a step back for a moment. Like, yo, why are people pissed about this? And they're trying to literally cancel her. They're like, how dare you do? Oh my goodness! And the responses, they were bonkers, man. They were crazy. Look at how mad they get. Oh my goodness.
Live comment first. Box Cutter Husky. They're mad that we made shapeshifters sexy. Mhm.
It's
know,
pretty
right?
funny.
I find it very funny that the idea that they could step to some big name, to a really, really renowned big name original furry artist, Dark Natasha, in the hope of canceling her.
Now, I don't remember exactly, but I did buy a print when I was at Free for All. It was like of a bear. It was like a Native American bear. It had like a whole feather headdress and everything. I'm trying to like find the actual picture of it. I don't know if it was by her or not, but I'm thinking it might have been. Like I'm looking at the art style and it looks very similar.
Something that really fascinates me about literally trying to pull this sort of stunt. It's just getting old. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But how far do you have to go showing your insecurity in this sort of manner before people realize they're going to make a complete fool of themselves? I mean, shit.
You know,
I
I
get
want
it.
to add a little something as a cultural person myself, because I am not white, and I want to share with you this. Look at the shirt.
Yeah, cool.
This is what you're looking at is a shirt that's of my native people, the Indonesian people. And would I accost you if you actually picked that up, wore it, put it on your persona, whatever? No, I wouldn't.
No, but if you
And
start acting like some racist twat,
yes, then that's a different story.
That's a really cool design too.
Yeah, really, like
Nice.
handmade. Yeah, handmade, traditional, and all that. And you know what? I guess I just want to leave this anecdote. Like me and my parents basically went to a street fair in a neighborhood, and there were white people performing an Indonesian cultural appreciation dance performance thingamabob. Dude, my parents loved it. So did I. Did we accuse them of that sort of cultural appreciation? No. No, we didn't. So, make of that what you will. I guess it's just showing that these white people who did that dance on that day really appreciated our culture enough to do this. So,
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, like, why all of a sudden is this artist being like attacked, like literally just a couple of days ago over this, like literally like crazy. But she's been around for a very long time. Like, she's a
and
very
I think
well
the thing,
known, right?
yeah, and I think a lot of people, furries especially as well, are jealous of her talent and success.
Just
That's
very
because,
sudden and odd. I mean, like, I wondered what happened, or did it
right,
just blow up out of nowhere?
yeah,
something I'm curious about is how old is that actual picture? When was it originally posted?
not very old.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I thought it would be relatively new because a lot of people are talking about it. They're like, "Oh, how dare you have like feathers and whatever!" Like, it's freaking weird. But no, I don't actually know how old it is.
All right, I'm going to see if I can find it because, I mean, I've seen like people losing their shit at Twitter posts older than like something like 10 years old, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sure.
odd. And then there's like another almost as equally viral post. Someone who responded to it.
Yeah, actually, that's right. Well, it was somebody had actually written a screed about it, a very, very long diatribe about, hey, white furries, we should talk about cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
jeez.
do you have the picture?
Yeah, I should have the
Oh goodness, this is pretty bonkers, guys.
So that picture was actually 3 months old, but that was a rework from what I'm guessing is going to be a sketch.
yeah,
I mean, it was pretty cool.
yeah. And then Dark Natasha finished it off, added a whole color treatment, printed it. Now it's amazing. Anyway, this is the diatribe that this other person thing.
Look at how
made.
cringe this is. Hey, white
Oh my
furries, let's
gosh.
talk
My
about
goodness.
cultural appropriation. Like, yo, come on. This is not what furries do. This is just weird. This is really weird, guys.
Yeah, and
Who says this like seriously?
yeah,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
next is the diatribe.
hmm This hasty. I don't even want to read this. This is gross. Ugh.
Yeah, this hasty art thread will discuss racism, white supremacy, and colonialism. If you get angry when colonized folks fight these things, it won't get better from here.
Oh my
Okay, yeah,
goodness.
you've turned me off from the whole. It won't get better.
And look at how cool they try to make them look themselves. They're like, yeah, I'm pointing to this. So, what is cultural appropriation? The inappropriate or unacknowledged adoption of elements of one culture or identity by members of another. Okay, so I guess you can't like have Chinese food if you're not Chinese. This is not the same as cultural exchange, wherein the adoption is. I mean, who is this person trying to talk to? Like, are they trying to talk to furries, or are they just like they're liberal professors at
lecture
like
people,
college? Like, what is happening
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
This is really strange.
This
And-
kind of reminds me of
Oh no,
like,
it keeps going. Oh god, it keeps going. It's worse.
what was it like last year or something? How somebody was explaining to people in Japan how if you get furries with this sort of avatar like mine, a Pokemon, going off and losing their shit about you, having changed this or doing this, ignore it. I'm guessing this individual copied that and tried to educate the community, except not really educating.
This is just really like okay. So
I mean, to me,
personas aren't anywhere near as important as entire minority cultures. What? What are you talking about? Yes, they are. Yo, if you're a furry, that's the most important thing. Like, why would I care about like minority cultures struggles if I just want to dress up as an orange doggo and go to a rave? Like, I'm not thinking about that. Like, what the heck is this? Anyway, so, but they're a good example to bridge knowledge gaps. Oh, shut up. We have an understanding that while not actually illegal, taking someone's persona and copying their fursuit isn't okay because that's part of their identity. Okay.
Like, look at the caption. Oh, next one. I'm totally telephone. As that person wears an ancient
What?
dragon suit.
What the heck? Okay, I don't really understand where they're going with this. This is just the same holds for. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
For all the BIPOC folks and actual lives. Yo, what are they talking about? This. Come on. Can anyone like decipher this nonsense?
Yes, it's
No.
called racism.
Yeah, this is messed up. What the heck is going on?
and like shaming people
I'm
too.
gonna discontinue the diatribe, but
See,
Yeah. Okay.
How to identify a racist? Exhibit A.
yeah, you want to know how to identify a racist? Wait until someone says shit like, gee, I don't know, race traitor, and then you go, huh, okay. But this is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, I really can't wait till I see people actually like ganging up and beating up people in the street just because, oh, I thought he was a bad person, so let's go, beat him up. Just as a
That probably happens accidentally a lot.
If those types of people want to turn around and say, "Oh, you're bad because," I'm like, okay, well, have fun in jail when you turn around and string someone up. This shit just leads to violence.
So anyway, the person that made all those crazy doodles and propaganda, they ended up blocking like literally over 120 people on Twitter. Like, if you've seen this person, well, you probably can't even see their tweet anymore because like they literally blocked over 100 people.
Only because they spoke out about it, and it's like, this is what you're doing. This is wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they actually would. This is actually a very good sign, in my opinion, because it shows like the backlash. People are like, "Yo, you're crazy! Like, what in the bonkers are you talking about?" And like, we don't want this. Like, you're insane. And so she's actually getting that, and that shows you at least not everyone's lost all their marbles yet.
And also Nova, when you said something about the Chinese food, I was gonna make like a little joke here. Like I was like, well, I guess I can't no longer have Panda Express, and I guess I can't also use my chopsticks because I'm pretty good with them as well. So am I a racist for that now?
I mean, I appreciate Asian food. It's delicious. I just had sushi like 2 days ago. It's scrumptious and I love it. Like, what am I?
Cultural appropriation.
What the heck? Oh, come on. That's crazy. I don't care about that
Actually,
nonsense.
yeah. Speaking of food, because I'm not white, I'm not allowed to have boigas. I'm not allowed to have.
No. If you have
Even,
a hamburger, bad, evil. Nope.
I
No
do
hamburgers
come-
for you.
Let's see. How many different people have I culturally appropriated from the past week? Like 6.
All
Because
right,
I had
live.
tacos last night too. So whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
All right,
understand.
so we are going to move to the next big item of this show. Why we can't, And it all started, yes, I know, we did a segment on Christian furs a couple of episodes ago, I believe. And now there's a big response when it's just all blown up.
So this is from Only Sky. It says, evangelical Christian furries are worried they'll be targeted for their faith. I'm not sure who Hemet Meta is, but he's the guy who wrote this. It says, leaders of Christian Furry Fellowship say they could be doxxed if people discover their anti-gay beliefs. Okay, so what is this about?
Very promising blurb.
Oh boy.
Very promising blurb. And you know what though, where we get onto this next is, okay, look, Christian furries, we exist, all right, no problem with that. I'm on myself. I'm sure there's many around. And so where this author gets on is,
let's see, it's one thing to hide behind a costume where you can let your avatar represent you, but when you feel most at home in a furry subculture, that's more atheist and agnostic than Christian, and very welcoming and accepting of LGBTQ people.
Yes.
Okay.
Derailed.
Right. Well, so what happens when you're a conservative Christ follower who believes most of the furries you hang out with are hellbound? I'm not sure what he's talking about. Like, is this guy a furry, or is he just like looking at this like from the outside? Because I don't think he quite understands what's going on here.
the outside.
Yeah.
And so, because like, don't get me wrong, that's kind of true. Like the whole demographic thing.
So, if you scroll down to the bottom, I think this person is an atheist.
Is pretty much the end of the article here, and so where we're going to get more, where things start to go downhill is this blurb here. Like after the CFF guy has said it, the writer goes on to say, yeah, spare a thought for the happy furries who need more Jesus in their lives.
What is he talking about?
So you're taking two things that are generally disliked in the community anyway, which is Bible bashing and high level of conservatism. Is that the...
I don't know who hurt him, but he seems very contentious about this.
He's very anti-God because he's, if it's the person who's the founder of FriendlyAtheist.com, a YouTube
That's
creator, a podcast host, and author of
Oh.
multiple books about. So, a very strong atheist person wrote this article.
Oh, so that kind of explains it.
And he's blaming like a subgroup of furries. It's actually, I don't know.
Someone's clout farming, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you're right about that. Because like lately, I've actually seen some of like hatred literally towards Christian furries specifically. When the whole free for all drama was happening, of course, they were going after Peace Wolf because she's Christian. And I mean, me too. Like people are like, oh, I saw you on like this podcast, theological discussion. Like they were bashing me too. It's been weird. I'm
but
not
here's the
sure if
other
it's
thing.
as widespread, but like I guess something like this article is kind of like helping pursue that.
Right, but here's the thing though. In spite of all their attempts and all that, like this may be a sign of the times, but now I'm seeing a big resurgence of Christians basically, despite all of that stuff. Like you could say they're getting out of it, but they're coming out of the woodwork and making these big bold proclamations in bigger numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I
I would
mean,
say, yeah, it's
uh,
like if there's more darkness, then there's going to be more and more Christians to respond to that. Heck yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but in the years I've been a furry, I have seen a lot of Christian furries, ones that advertise on their page that, yes, I'm a Christian furry. And some of them haven't exactly been the, how to put it, well, let's just say safe for work isn't in their vocabulary.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's another thing we'll get
there's
onto in a moment. Yeah.
there's a difference between saying it, because again, I think some people are saying it because they're clout farming, and the people who actually, follow through with it.
Mm-hmm. Live comment from Ali. Shout out. To the certain furries that are easily offended by Christianity, y'all need Jesus.
Amen.
I mean, yeah, of course. Y'all need Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly.
But you know what? But I
Amen.
guess it kind of goes a bit downhill from here because this person basically goes on to gaslight and say these Christians ought to be asking why they're so unwelcome in this subculture. What?
Yeah, what are they talking about?
Well, he's taking the pro-LGBT alphabet soup stance and being, atheist at the same time. So everything that a Christian stands for, I hate. Therefore, I'm going to write an article about it in very gentle wording. But
Quote,
my
unquote, yeah.
seething hatred for Christians will burn through it.
Yes. And
Okay.
in spite of this, though, his last statement, there's another one we're going to get through, but his next statement is to the Christians is, instead of trying to make the furry community more accepting of Christianity, the Christians should spend their time making evangelical churches more inclusive of matters of sexual orientation, gender identity. Nice
No.
deflection. That's a deflection.
Yeah, that's a hard deflection.
Yeah, what is he talking about? That has nothing to do with religion at all. That's a societal thing that he wants to,
We'll also read if
Do.
you can read right above, Christians
That's
are
crazy.
like the log cabin Republicans who are fully convinced they're liberalizing the Republican Party on the issue of LGBT alphabet soup, only to realize that they're a joke. That they are a joke to the very people they're trying to change. It's like, yes, you're writing a scathing review of Christian furries without ever actually talking to one. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, like just literally how hard he went, like way out into left field like that.
Well, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, honestly, when I scrolled down and read who it was like, well, from an atheist, this is about what I would expect.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right. First, one, the live comment first. Little question for me. Puppy power overwhelming. Joel, attending FFA 23. I know. I've been highly requested there, but I'm going to publicly issue the statement that I can neither confirm nor deny anything about it at this point in time. Fingers crossed, though. I very much am open to the idea of it. But this is for this point in time. So, but it doesn't go. It goes deeper than this. What's just happened? Because not the B,
this one too.
This Babylon B knockoff thing has also made their own writing piece about it, and well, it's a trip, basically what it is, and to get to where what he's getting at is this. What even?
Oh, okay. So what? I know that there's one person out there who says Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. would be totally fine with people made in his image to be pretending to be animals in social circles, are often perverse. Okay, cosplaying for living out their fantasies. What?
I think he's basically misinformed to the fact that he's just bought into the whole furry is a sexual thing.
Yeah,
Furry
Oh,
is a
jeez.
that was very much what I got from this.
Oh
article.
yeah, this is weird. Yeah.
Furries are for sex, therefore they are sex.
This sounds like how
Basically.
people sounded in like the 90s.
like 2000, like the early days of when the furries came out into the woodwork.
Yeah,
You're gonna see
like
it.
the late 90s, early 2000s. Like
Yeah,
Well,
this,
some of the
this sounds
early-
like a boomer. I don't know.
some of those early furcons, you have to admit that
Yeah, they were. Well, conference was basically. Well, yeah, we know,
yeah.
but they're still talking about it like this, like 30 years later. It's kind of weird.
And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure, like, we can also agree, like, does that sort of thing happen? Yes, it does. But again, the fandom is way more than just about that stuff. I mean, that we can agree on.
I just think it's interesting how he says that he thinks that Jesus would be disappointed in people who dress up as animals. That's kind of funny.
like
I
it's
mean,
counter-
for me, as a Christian by myself, I mean, I kind of went through situations like this too, like, where some people would ask me, like, like, what are you? Like, are you a like, a person in God's image, or do you think you're an animal? And I sit here like, look, I mean, I'm fully aware that I will always be in God's image. I always will, and I know who I am. But am I an animal? Do I identify as an animal? No, I don't. And again, I treat this furry fandom or furry thing as a hobby. Like, I don't treat it like some kind of lifestyle or identity. So, there's that
Exactly.
too.
Like it's literally just like a fun hobby you like do on the weekends or whatever, or like go to
That's
cons
exactly
here
right.
and there. Yeah, it's whatever.
Right.
And you know what? I like to think all of this stuff. It seems counterintuitive. Like if you want to go and condemn all furries to this sort of like resign to this sort of hell fate, like this, you basically sound like a Puritan at that point.
Puritan legalism.
So does
Yeah,
this guy
sort of.
not like? Does he not like Halloween either? Like when kids dress up as like skeletons and Superman and stuff like that. Does he not like that holiday because it's evil or something?
Right.
This is probably.
Or it's kind of like, it's also towards the same thing. If you're into cosplay for anime, like, is that bad too?
Yeah. How dare you, you devil worshiper? You're doomed to hell.
So I have to say, probably my favorite thing to actually go about when someone's like, "How can you be a Christian and a furry?" It's like, well, have you read Matthew 9:10 through 13? No? Okay, let me enlighten you. And Jesus reclined at the table at the house. Behold, many tax collectors and sinners came there reclining with Jesus and his disciples. And the Pharisees saw this. They said to the disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" But when he heard it, he said, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. Go, learn what this means, as I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I came to call the righteous, not the sinners."
Amen.
Or not, for I came not to call the righteous, but sinners.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right. And it was Jesus's part of his ministry to save the sinners, not the righteous.
Yeah.
Bring hope and
You go to
good.
the people who are sick, who are in sin.
Yes.
I think the furry is a hobby as well, and
Yes.
it's one of those things that, hey, you're in
And-
probably the least reached group of people on the face of the planet, because no one wants to talk to them because they're too delved in their own sin and lust and greed.
Or they just think it's weird.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Or
like,
think
I mean,
it's
sure,
Like
you
to
could-
dress up in carpets and couch cushions and call ourselves animals. Yes,
Mhm.
we are weird,
Yeah.
especially those
I
who live in
mean,
the desert, because you're freaking crazy wanting to wear carpet in the desert.
Mhm.
I mean, hey, there's actually this guy I watch on YouTube, and he's a devout Christian as well. I mean, even he says like, hey, you know what? It's also weird to be a Christian too. It's okay. You know what? It happens. And you know what? People are gonna look at you weird if you say you're a Christian. I'm like, yeah, I get that. I do. It happens
Yeah,
to
I mean,
me.
I have like a whole thing that I wanted to do, not necessarily coming out, but like a reveal thing. Hey, this is also what I do. So I did a lot of biblical verses and stuff that basically, lots of different things. So
Mhm.
I that Christian furry.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah,
N-
they're. I
There's a
don't
lot more
agree
things
with
that
everything that people say because they like to twist words, but it also is the thing that
yeah. And which brings us to the next point of this article, what this author writes on about, like, to the point where because he finds Christian furry such a bit of an oxymoron. Yeah, look at these oxymoronic statements.
oh yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
I really wanted to know and see what like this person other writes, and it's interesting.
Groomers
Yeah.
for God.
Like that's like the sort of thing that would,
Oh,
that.
jeez, that's pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Like I really wanted to find out who wrote
Read.
this, but you
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't.
this
Get
is
to that
pretty
in a
messed up,
second,
man.
but you can read. I mean, like we've touched on just a bit earlier, like you can sit here and argue that dressing up in an animal costume born out of a
It's not though.
subculture.
It was
It's not
born
a
out
sexual
of
subculture.
frickin' nerds wanting to be nerds.
That's right. From back then in the early
I'm gonna let
80s.
this next thing go, and then I've got something to follow up with, just to.
Yeah, we are. And like what regrettably, all of this stuff is just, ugh. Like what exactly do they not understand? It's just like,
It just seems like he really, really hates furries. I mean, I don't know who hurt this guy or like what the problem is going on here. It's weird.
I don't think
And
it's necessarily hates furries. It hates the stigma that surrounds furries, which is
Yeah,
honestly a very true stigma, unfortunately.
yeah. There are people. Yeah, that's true.
And those are the people who always get caught on camera, always get caught on video because they are doing illicit things in public. And it's just like, you're not helping the case here, my guy
Yeah, like
or girl.
it literally only takes like one person to mess up everything, like at a convention or something. Yeah,
One pair of people can, tarnish 1,100 or 11,000 people's, good work for that weekend or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah, totally.
yeah. So no, what is it that you wanted to go through?
Okay, so as far as I'm aware, you can take the furry, any furry, and you can divide it into one of two groups. One are people who see the persona or persona plus characters, if that's how you want to put it, as simply characters, story. You also have a group of people who will dress up a persona, design it and everything, and will turn around and say, "This is what I'm supposed to be. This is actually me."
Yeah, aren't those like the Therians or like otherkins or whatever they call themselves? That's like
Well,
a different type of thing.
otherkins usually are animals, but there are furries out there where I've seen them basically state that this is what I actually am. I'm not human.
Okay, well
Yeah,
that sounds like a
yeah,
different
they use.
problem actually. That doesn't even sound like a thing, like a
But
normal thing.
when it
Okay.
comes
yeah,
down
yeah, I
to
agree with that.
Christianity getting into the whole sort of furry thing, being able to separate those two groups of people would generally sort of help out a lot more. For instance, if this is just for play, storytelling, and having fun, fine. But if you want to get into like treating this as a thing, a real thing, then it tends to get a bit creepy. I've actually been freaked out a couple of times when I've seen some people online just.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
when they that part, yeah.
there actually is a scene from that one documentary. What was a woman where Matt Walsh was talking to that one person who said that he identifies as a wolf.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, to be honest, when I saw that scene, I was like, yeah, that's I think that person needs some help. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
But
I guess yeah.
so this is where I believe a lot of the established churches would help to differentiate the type of individuals that either have been attending for years or would probably want to attend in the future.
Mhm.
That if someone someone believes that they are non-human, then asking them to kindly please leave, and those who just have it as a side gig for fun or shits and giggles, as we say sometimes, you know there should be no harm. I mean, unless of course you walk in there like the rainbow dildo butt monkey, but that's another story entirely.
Yeah, that's what we call like a pride parade at that point. But yeah, so I want to get through to these $1,000,000 questions before we wrap up this segment. First question, is Christian furry an oxymoron?
Uh, how?
Like, it's basically like a self-defeating statement because one's going because furry is supposedly this. That
Oh,
symbol
sorry.
cannot be
Is Christian
defeated.
Furry an oxymoron? No, I don't think so. I think you can be. I mean, I am. No, wait, what's wrong with that? So what? I have a fun hobby, but I also go to church. I mean, like, what's wrong with that?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
basically,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like I don't see it as an oxymoron because I mean, well, there's lots of things that shouldn't be, you know. I don't know. It's
I mean, there's Muslim furries, there's Jewish furry, there's agnostic, there's Satanists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Satanists out there. I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you about that. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, I
Uh,
think you can be any religion furry. Really, it's
Yeah.
just it's a hobby, or for most people, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
All right. Next important $1,000,000 question: are all furries predestined for hell?
Oh.
Well, I would like to say this. The only way, the only way you're not gonna make it is by a lack of faith and that you don't believe. Like that's the only way you're not gonna make it. That's why I like to encourage people, like, hey, as long as you have faith and you put your trust in Jesus, I mean, you're saved and you're forgiven. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Amen.
And that we're not perfect and we'll never will be, and it's not by our good works, and Jesus is the only way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amen.
I mean,
So now we're going to wrap this segment up, and we're going to move to the next item. And I know you've heard of a new movie trailer that's come out of the works, a revival of an old classic.
There's a lot more going on than I think people
Behind-
understand.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what-
Sorry, I just hope this isn't a repeat of Mulan 2020.
No, I mean, yes, just because they're taking a new direction doing this in live action. What are you guys thinking? Like, what the message of it and the overall aesthetic?
okay. I don't know. It seems like they're still running out of ideas. Like Pinocchio, they already did Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Jungle Book. Like they're legit running out of ideas at this point.
Well,
This is
they gotta make a
what
live
is
action.
this?
They
They don't
gotta make
have
live
to.
action.
They don't. They don't have to turn this classic into a live. What are they doing? This is just a cash grab, honestly.
That fish looks really freaky.
Okay. Yeah, it does. I mean, Pinocchio actually does look kind of cool, like as a character. Like I think they did a good job, like at least like with his cartoonish design.
Okay, I now know where that foxes came from because
Oh
that's been
yeah, you saw
all
that
over
on
my
Twitter, right?
feed, all over my Twitter feed, and it's like, what is this from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I saw that blow up a few hours ago.
Like
I
every single part is like, yeah, look at that fox.
I mean, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it does look like it's gonna be a good movie, actually. I mean, it does look good, and yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, they did a really good job on the Honest John there.
I think so. Okay, and if he gets eaten by the whale and like, oh man, I don't know. It looks alright. But I didn't actually realize it was Tom Hanks because I was watching the trailer, and then I didn't even realize it until like I was reading the comments because I didn't see like the credits or whatever they were showing. They're like, "Oh wow, Tom Hanks." I'm like, "Wait, what?" It really doesn't look like him. Yo, he got old.
Oh yeah.
He looks like
Mhm.
Santa Claus or something. I don't know. Like, yeah.
And also, not just that, I also heard that the trailer itself is getting a lot of um, some negativity as well, and like a lot of dislikes from the movie too. Well, I mean, I guess it's probably because like people are saying like, oh no, it's Tom Hanks, like they're bringing wokeness and stuff like that. I'm like, huh?
I don't know. 'Cause, like from what I've seen from the trailer, it seems like they're gonna be following the story. Like they even played like some of like the original tunes, like the music from the the classic movie. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe it's gonna be good. Hopefully, it's like a homage rendition. Like a reboot or well, not a reboot, but like
And
whatever, like a new version of it. I don't
and
know.
also, if it's okay to point out, I don't remember the Blue Fairy being bald, but okay. I mean,
No, the Blue Fairy was not bald or black. She looked like Mother Mary. That was basically what the design that they were going for.
mm.
But that was
It
yeah,
was a
the Blue
deliberate
Fairy.
casting choice, but
She
to
looked
say
just
no
like her.
more.
Yeah.
But to say no
I don't
more,
know why they did that. Whatever. I guess.
yeah, it's a deliberate casting choice. But
But
again, to say
I mean, I mean, again, I mean, it still looks like a good movie still.
Yeah, I'm interested. One of my favorite characters was the cricket. He was always so like wise. He was like the voice of reason. Like whatever he said, something like he was important. And they made
Okay,
they made
okay.
him look like Groot. Like what did they do there? Did you see his design? Like he legit looked like I don't know, like Baby Groot or something.
Uh-huh. So, speaking of Jimmy Cricket, of him being so wise, me and Joel were actually talk about this actually. Me and Joel were talking about how Pinocchio does a lot of biblical
right.
references,
I hadn't
and
found out about this until now, like which kind of goes to show I'm just so behind the tunes, or I'm just so blind to that sort of thing.
mhm.
But
So like oh, okay, go ahead.
but yes, there are a lot of low key biblical messages in Pinocchio in and of itself that yes, like first of all you would think why is Disney in on this stuff, right? And so I guess what I wanted to start with is Pinocchio is a primer to morality for children in a way.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, don't lie or your nose is gonna grow. I mean, could you imagine being like 4 years old and your mom telling you that? You're like, oh my goodness, if I lie, my nose is gonna grow like Pinocchio. Like they used to use that to like scare kids back in the day. Like my
My
dad told me
my
that, I think.
my parents did the same thing with me.
Oh, they did? Yeah. Like crazy. I would like watch the cartoon and be like, "Oh no, no, I didn't steal that extra cookie." Like I don't know.
Yes.
And so yeah, again, and what's really interesting is that when you hear the name or look at the name Jimmy Cricket, the literal reference is actually referring to Jesus Christ. Jimmy Cricket, Jesus Christ. So again, what is the role of Jimmy Cricket? Well, again, he's wise, and that he he guides Pinocchio towards the right path, like what's good and what's going to flourish in his life, because Pinocchio has no conscience. He's just a puppet right now. So there's that, and there's parts of the movie where oh no, he bumps into Honest John. What does Honest John do? Oh, hey kid, you want to be rich and famous, and you'll have all these promising things? Follow me. So again, it's there's a lot of biblical references in this movie, and me growing up and knowing this movie for years, I never knew that or never catch that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Really, like some subtle messages going on.
Like,
Yeah.
I know. Like, I have not even read the author's original work, Collodi, and like, and now for it to be revived in this era and age, I'm telling you, it's something else.
And
Yeah, and
it's
so
also
like,
kind of and it's also sort of the same thing when I can't pronounce his name. When Pinocchio's father got swallowed by Mastro, that's a reference to Jonah.
Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, okay. I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's so true.
and there's also a scene in the movie where when Pinocchio and his father are back together, and he sees the donkey ears, and Pinocchio tells what happens, and he apologizes, and what does Pinocchio's father do? He forgives him and loves him, just like the prodigal son.
Wow. Yeah.
like I mean, just hearing and seeing all this for the very first time when I came across this video, like I was just blown away. Like, wow, that's really incredible.
Yeah. I'll probably watch this movie, if I'm able to like catch it in theaters or something.
it's
Yeah.
going to be coming out on Disney Plus September 8th.
Oh wait, it's not going to be in theaters?
This is
I'm not
apparently
sure about a
Really?
theatrical release yet.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like gonna be in the movies because I don't have Disney Plus. All right, so I guess I don't know.
We'll
I'll see
see.
what I can do.
I'm going to look for
Wait,
it.
when
Though,
was
if
it
it's
releasing?
September 8th.
Okay, so
Yeah, but I guess that's only streaming then.
I'm not
It's
sure if
supposed to be
it's
like the
only
year of
streaming.
Pinocchio or something, because there's other Pinocchio stuff going on as well. So
That's right. Like, isn't there? There was a game called, and I only found out that it was a trailer was dropped on Gamescom. It was called like The Lies of P, wasn't it?
Lies of Pete, which is actually like someone taking a literal, granted a little bit dark brush of interpretation to the story of Pinocchio, and it's
Right.
really dark, but
funny
really
how the
cool
timing
looking.
just seemed to coincide with one another.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, it just so happens that
Yeah, so one of them was like a nice, family friendly movie. The other one's like super dark and like
the other one's
Victorian.
like
Oh, boy.
a rated T or M game.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Okay,
It's like
interesting.
The Lies of P on the blurb on their Twitter page. Inspired by the familiar story of Pinocchio. # Lies of P is an action Souls-like game set
This
in
is
the dark
really
Belle Epoque
fascinating.
world.
Oh, wow.
So wait, is that Pinocchio with a sword? Is that him?
That
Yes,
really
that's
seems to look
Pinocchio.
like it.
What?
Whoa.
in the game, you
Okay,
essentially
why
play as
Pinocchio though? Of all characters, like, what is this game even about? Like, does it have to do with the fairy godmother and like
Not necessarily.
what's happening here? This is I'm intrigued
so
actually.
for everyone who is looking forward to the Lives of P, I'm giving you the warning to go ahead and mute the stream for the next 30, 40 seconds maybe. All right. Well, the Lies of P is essentially you are playing as Pinocchio, who is asked to save the world from a virus or apocalypse ending thing. Essentially like in the Dark Ages.
Okay.
The Black Plague, and that's what, except whatever, clockwork, fantasy, clockwork mixed together, and you follow a literal depiction of Pinocchio through a dark tone.
Right. Like some people have
Wow.
argued
Okay.
that it's if Dishonored,
the only
Dark
way
Souls
I
or
could
whatever
say
had a
is
baby.
to just watch the trailer, maybe watch the Gamescom interview, and just
That's
take it for yourself, because I mean, the people who are designing it are really interesting.
wow. Okay.
I think
I'll have to look more into that.
And
Yeah.
they've kind of made a few things like we're integrating with the whole Pinocchio thing, like lying will affect your interaction with NPCs in the game, enemies you encounter, and more.
Oh yeah, like how does that like affect the gameplay?
It's
Like,
it's basically dialogue choices. I would just intuit.
oh
that.
seriously, and like as you're playing the game, like the nose is legit growing. Oh, that'd be weird.
They did say
Yes,
that
but
it's a possibility.
That's
In the
wow.
interview, they're like, that may be something that happens. We're
That-
not.
What?
So, you
That's
know,
cool.
yeah.
Now,
It
speaking
looks
of
really
this,
interesting. It is not my style of game, so
Yeah, I don't know. Oh goodness, that looks spooky.
yeah, like again, like
It almost
this is
looks like Slipknot furry version or something. This
yeah,
is
like Clockwork and stuff. Like if Dishonored and Dark Souls or something had a baby, that would be it. Yes,
Or like
That
Silent Hill.
Clockwork,
I can see these
Rabbit
like
Mask.
Silent Hill villains or something.
Yes,
Ooh,
Clockwork.
especially
Rabbit
that dude with a
Mask.
giant blade. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like
This is
it's
crazy.
low key. You know, trying
they
to
actually came to the interview. One of the developers came with like the bucket head one on.
Mhm.
I mean, they took it off, like after they met and used stuff. But I mean, they literally showed up to the interview with the big mask on, and it's like, you got cred points from me for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
but like for this to be such a thing, such a take, it's really something else. Like how they've done with this sort of Pinocchio and turn into like a Victorian era fantasy of some sort. Like
Yeah,
it's,
like
I mean,
a actiony. It's not well. I mean, I don't think it's a shooter, but it's like a slasher.
yeah, and
Action-y.
he has spells and so forth in his repertoire of skills.
I mean, that would make sense because like he was brought to life by magic, so I'm sure he has some like fairy god powers type of stuff going on. You know, I mean, he's basically like wood that's alive.
Well, in like the trailer, you see that has like he's half clockwork in the game. So he's got like a mechanical arm and stuff. So I mean, you can get like I think you can get like upgrades and stuff. But I mean,
That's pretty cool.
I've been following the Gamescom stuff fairly closely, but that they just had like a 10-minute spiel in a 3-hour stream. So
Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
I mean, understandably, it's not a game for the faint-hearted because it is a game that's very Dark Souls-like. And yes, those are challenging games. So,
I tried playing Dark Souls, and man, do I hate it.
It's a challenging game. It's by design. It is. Clearly, it's not for the faint of heart. So different strokes for different folks. But hey,
Yeah, true.
But I guess what we're really interested in is just where the tie-ins to Pinocchio really are if it's kind of like it's kind of like a tribute to the Pinocchio thing, isn't it? That game.
I don't know. Like I said, I've only watched like the trailer and stuff. So
yeah. But overall, you look at it though. There's like two different things, and I guess before I close this segment off, talk about the aesthetic of it though. The one depicting a puppet in live action, and you've got this whimsical fantasy world, Honest John and that, in live action.
Yeah. It's always the year of Pinocchio, apparently. So I don't know.
Wait, so what do you mean the year of Pinocchio? Is it like an anniversary or something?
No, it's there's just lots of, well, not lots. There's two things that are coming out that are Pinocchio based, and it's just really.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was like an official thing, like the birthday or something.
Like Disney's live action movie, and then The Lies of P, the game.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, like what a rabbit hole we've just diving into.
Interesting. Like they literally just came out like so close to each other. It's pretty wild.
I know. Yeah. Which one are you looking forward to the most? Or you
I
can
would
pick
probably
both.
go after the game.
Understandable. I mean,
The
lots of us still
live
be interested
action
in
stuff lost me a long time ago. Like as soon as they start making live action stuff, it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah. And then there's, of course, every furry wanted the fox.
Well,
Yes, from the movie.
Don't
Oh
get me
my
wrong,
goodness.
that little snippet has been all over my Twitter feed. And it's like, really? What's this? Oh, that actually looks really nice. But at the same time, where is this from?
Yeah. No context, Fox.
Yeah. And he looks so believable. All right. So, yeah, we have come to the end of the happenings for the week. What a ride.
Oh yeah.
All I can really say.
Just the
And
descent
so,
into madness continues.
Yeah. But there are some good things sprinkled onto it, though, so not all is all doom and gloom.
True.
There's always a glimmer of hope somewhere. You've just got to look for it. And with that, who would like to begin with their closing statement for the happenings of the week?
Don't lie, everyone. Don't lie. It only makes things worse. Also, be true to yourself. Don't necessarily follow someone else's guidance for you because it's probably not for you if it's coming from someone else.
That's right. Good thing to end on. All right. Who's up next?
I'm gonna say this, but I was at a Christian group several years ago. There was like this little local community thing going on, and the person who dragged me along said that I shouldn't have, did what I did, which was there's this bit of dust coming down from the light in the window, and I raised my hand up to try to catch it. And I was asked, "Why the hell did you do that?"
Wait. You did what?
So we were having a bright sunny day, and you know what happens with a lot of dust in the room, how it picks up and starts floating around.
Okay.
So the dust started coming towards me, and I reached out with my hand to try and catch it in the air.
So wait, okay, you try to catch dust with your hand, and someone freaked out about it.
Afterwards, so like, you shouldn't have done that.
What? Okay. That's kind of weird, but all right. I don't know why I don't get so freaked out about that. Huh.
I don't know, but that came to mind today. Oh, I can't comprehend the whole anti-Christian thing in the whole furry fandom. I mean, it's like turning around and having like 3 flavors of a chocolate bar, and all of a sudden, like 30 years later, people start losing their shit because one of them's full of nuts. It just doesn't make sense. The nuts have been there for 30 years. Why does it matter?
I find it so odd, like the woke left and the Puritan religious nuts on the right are kind of just going on uniting against Christian firsts.
In person, you don't have to turn around and advertise on a giant ass billboard that you're a furry and the kind of sick, twisted shit that you like to get up to, depending on what it is.
Right.
But that being said, it just doesn't. People have to start learning that you need to separate your life into different petitions. Otherwise, you're just going to drag yourself down. And the whole Pinocchio thing, I'm sorry, but with all the other live action stupid bullshit that's been going on, I can't sit there and go, oh, I'm probably going to enjoy this movie after like everything else.
All right. Jay.
Oh boy, yeah, we definitely went through a lot today. Let's see, with the whole Nazi things or the furry Nazi things are real. I mean, to me, it's like, well, I mean, the word Nazi is being used way too often these nowadays. I mean, are they like really here? No, I mean, I don't really believe that, and yeah, that's kind of silly. the culture appreciation or whatever the thing is. I mean, it's just art. Like, that, I mean, again, it's all it is. Like, I mean, um, like, or it's kind of like, since when, like, certain things that you put on your character or certain attire that you wear, like, since when there was like a, let's see, how do I say this? Like clothing designed for a certain race. Like, I guess I can say, like, like since when that was a thing. And again, it's just art, it's just fantasy. I mean, why be so hurt about it? I mean, um and I guess, hey, at the same time, like, I mean, if you are gonna do something like that and it didn't act racist, then yeah, that's different. I mean, I feel like I can agree with that, but still, um and the Christian First article, them saying that they're gonna be afraid for their faith and being doxxed. Well, I say this, you know what? I say, why are you afraid, or why are you ashamed to be a Christian? Like, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a Christian. Show it. I mean, have some boldness, and like, and don't forget that Jesus himself did say that, hey, the world will hate you because of me, but keep in mind the world hated me first, and that we are not of this world. And always remain in faith, and also be, and don't be a false witness as well. Be true in the word. And that um and not just that, like, I mean, there's also a saying, those without sin cast the first stone. There's that too. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
right on.
and
Yeah.
hey, we're all sinners. We all are, and we all need a savior. I mean, to me, I feel like it's not necessary to say that, like, oh, Christians can't be furries, or I mean, furries can't be Christians, or gamers can't be Christians, or anime fans can't be Christians. Like, to me, like, that's just not right. I mean, because it just feels like to me that, or it's like what they're trying to say is like, oh, you must be 100% Christian, you must 100% do this all the time, every day in, day out, don't worry about anything else, you're not allowed to have any kinds of fun, like, it must be this and strictly only. Like, to me, that's kind of like, feels like what they're trying to say. And to me, it's like, oh yeah, well, I wonder if you like to watch sports. Okay, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You can't watch sports anymore. That's unchristian.
Yeah,
So on and
it's
so
kind of
forth.
weird, like how like Puritan they got and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
that's
yeah,
pretty much what the not to be thing is like. But yeah, just wanted to conclude the
Um.
whole you shall not bear witness has been a very big theme. Bear
Right.
false witness, yeah,
Yeah.
especially in light
And
of
and not just that, like, me as a Christian, I love everybody. It doesn't matter what race or what sexuality you are. I mean, I love you regardless. And I want to let you know that there's hope, and that we have a savior who died for us and died for you. And that and hey, like, like you all see me doing, I'm sharing the word every day, because I have such a passion, and I love people so much, and that's why I do it. And you know, so there's that
Mhm.
too. And for Pinocchio, again, I still feel like it looks like a good movie, and I think that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you, thank you, and Evera.
wow. So there was quite some interesting stories going on this week. When it comes to the whole cultural appropriation thing, I mean, I'm about to order some sushi right after this podcast. Hell, I love other cultures. I mean, whatever. I'm going to enjoy the fruits of the whole world. It's great. So I don't
Hmm.
care. Call me a racist for appreciating other cultures. Forgive me. But I hope you guys have an awesome night. I'm pretty tired, but yeah, I'm probably gonna head out pretty soon. I hope you have an
Right,
awesome night.
right on, right on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Awesome,
for
Avera.
tuning in,
All
and I hope
right.
you enjoyed this as much as we did making it. You took something away from it, and there is always there's always hope in the world. Like, you just have to look. You've got to be able to look for it and accept it. That's what
There's
it
always
is.
there's always light at the wait, hold on. Every
At
dark
the end of the
tunnel,
tunnel.
there's always
Yes.
light.
Yes.
And there's always hope.
And yes. And as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and now joining the portfolio is Player.fm and iHeartRadio. Also, our video version is available on BitChute, and we will always have more platforms to look for, so keep an ear out. This is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
Bye.
Later.
Everybody, God bless you
Magic
all.
8 Ball!